stick it on there real good. Make sure it sticks out a little bit over the top of the cone, because that'll make it look more even, because some of mine ended up looking like bent over a little bit, if that makes any sense. Okay, so first thing I want to do is add the cherries. Okay, I got my little razor blade here because it's really sharp, and slice off little thin pieces like that. It's okay if you get it a little thicker, it doesn't really matter. And I'm only putting the cherries, or strawberries, whatever you want to call it, on the sides, if you haven't noticed, of the cone, because I want to add a chocolate drizzle to it in a little bit. Okay, now get it in there, and these things will come out, so you got to watch for the empty spots it leaves. It looks very unnatural. Put one down there in the little tiny bit of clay down there. Kind of look like pepperoni. Alright, just a couple more. Okay. Now to get the cone shape, I'm going to use my needle tool. And if you don't have a needle tool, you can use a real needle. They sell thick needles like this for yarn, or tapestry needles at the sewing section of any store, so you can make your own handle out of clay. I've got a few around here like that. Okay, and we're going to kind of squish it down on the edge so it looks like it's a scoop. And you want to try, don't keep it uniform, you want to kind of stagger a little bit so that it doesn't look uniform. Okay. And the last thing I want to do is add the texture. And you want to make sure if you did it like a chocolate color and then you go to do a lighter color, make sure you get a new piece of foil, otherwise you will have a mess. Okay. Okay, the next step is the eye pin. And I have some eye pins that are, I usually buy the long ones because you can get them in different lengths. And I'll buy the long ones because I'll still use the rest of it that I cut off. You only need about this much. And then what you can do with the rest is, if you have the round nose pliers, and these are like one of the most essential items you'll need, so you should just go get one. Put the wire around halfway on the inside so you get a clean loop, and then twist it around all the way till it touches, and then just grab a hold of it right here and twist it back, and there you've got another eye. Okay, then just poke it down in there. There we go. And that's your strawberry cone. Doesn't look quite right to me. There we go. I'm going to cook these and then show you the strawberry or the chocolate drizzle. Okay, my cones have cooled off, my new ones, and I have all of these to finish. And I baked them with the eye pen, but you can see they come right back out, which is good. What I'm going to do is add a touch of glue, if I can remember where I put it. Okay, I don't have any glue handy, so I'm going to use this. This is liquid Sculpey, translucent liquid Sculpey. You can use super glue, jewelry glue, Mod Podge. We are going to bake this one again, so I'm going to use the TLS. Put a little bit on this brush here. It doesn't take much of anything, so just be real light touch with it. Alright. And we are going to add a glaze to these, so don't get too hung up on making it perfect. Okay. And when that bakes, it'll harden up and keep it sticking in there. Okay. Elmer's glue will work, because you're not going to be doing anything too intensive with this, so it doesn't need to be able to hold. These cones are very lightweight. And I forgot to mention that the little cherries I put in here, the rods that I made are made with Fimo Soft Cherry Red. And it's kind of important to use, if you're going to add inclusions like that, to use a different color, because if you're baking it, it'll all darken to the same color if you use the same color, whether you lighten it or darken it. Depends on how much you use. And they just kind of cancel each other out. Okay. Alright. So all of those have some liquid Sculpey. Now to make the chocolate drizzle, I have a little cup here, and what I'm going to use is the Sculpey glaze, because you can bake it. It's the only glaze I have that you can bake. And the translucent liquid Sculpey is too thick. It doesn't coat. And this glaze gives it a nice shiny texture, so it looks like chocolate sauce. All I'm going to do is mix it in with some acrylic paint. I don't want to do too much. It doesn't take much. And the acrylic paint I'm using is burnt umber. But you can use any dark chocolate colored one that you have on hand. Don't use a lot, just use a very small amount. There we go. Just one little drop. Mix it up real good. Okay. And I wait to do this because I don't like wasting my glaze, so I just wait till I have a bunch like this to do and then do them all at once. Because this will dry out and you can just peel it right out, and I use the same container for it. Okay, so we're going to drizzle that on top, make a few drip marks. Make sure you get it in there where the eye pin is. That'll help hold it in. Let it dripping down a little bit. Like that. And that's why I didn't put any of those fake cherries on the top, because I was going to cover it up anyway. And there we go. Some chocolate drizzle. And then you'll want to bake this, and since there's not much to bake, only do it for like 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, my cones have been all cooked and dried, cooled down, and that's what they look like with the chocolate color. And I need to glaze this one too, that's why it's out here. This is you can stop right there and be done with it if you want. You don't have to add the glaze to it. But I do because I like the way it looks. And it really makes the mica and the gold stand out. And it just gives it an overall cutesy appearance, I think. And this is my glaze. This is Varathane water-based varnish, which is, after a lot of research on the internet about how to make your polymer clay glossy, is the one that people like to use because it doesn't yellow over time and get sticky, like some other varnishes I've used in the past have done to me. And I put it in this salsa jar because it comes in a paint can, and after a while it gets really rusty and gross, and it's hard to close, and so this is much easier to use since you're using it in smaller installments. Make sure you mix it up, because if you don't, the stuff you get on your brush will be too watery and it won't cover well. Okay. And then that's it. Just glaze it, let it dry, and it's all finished.